We try to overhaul our lives all at once, building exhausting schedules based on pure motivation, only to watch them crumble 3 days later. To build a structure that lasts, we have to stop trying to drop massive, finished walls into place. Lasting change requires us to focus instead on the smallest possible unit of construction. We call this unit a keystone habit, a tiny, effortless action designed as your first perfect brick. Securing this small win early creates a baseline of order, making your next positive choice feel like a logical next step. To get you started, we are going to build 2 things together right now: a custom 5-minute blueprint and a 3-day prototype log. Grab a piece of paper and a pen. This design process moves us away from the brute force that leads to burnout. Instead, it allows us to build a system of small wins that eventually stay in place on their own. First, identify one broad, manageable area of your life you genuinely wish to improve. Avoid picking a massive, abstract life goal. Focus on a specific daily routine. Consider these 3 target areas: a tidier home, a calmer mind, or more physical movement. Pick the one that feels most relevant and write it at the top of your page. Below that, write out the master formula for your 5-minute blueprint. It reads, after daily cue, I will tiny habit. Your daily cue is the anchor. It must be a physical action you already perform every single day without fail, like pouring your morning tea or taking off your shoes when you walk through the door. The tiny habit is the new addition. It must take less than 5 minutes to complete. If your cue is pouring tea, your tiny habit might be doing 10 simple squats while the kettle boils. By piggybacking a micro-action onto a guaranteed trigger, you stop relying on willpower. The trigger itself becomes the prompt for the action. To ensure this habit actually sticks, we need to audit it. Close your eyes and vividly imagine yourself executing the exact steps you just wrote down. Notice your internal response. If your brain registers even a flicker of hesitation, or if the action feels like a chore, the blueprint needs to be adjusted. If you felt that resistance, scale the habit down immediately. If wiping the entire kitchen counter feels like too much work, shrink the target. Commit to wiping exactly 1 square foot. At this stage, the physical result is secondary. Your primary goal is to successfully wire the psychological habit loop between the cue and the response. Now that your blueprint is set, we are going to treat the next 72 hours as a low-stakes experiment. You are simply gathering data to see how the blueprint performs in the real world. On the bottom half of your paper, draw a tracking table with 3 columns: day, did I do it, and what I noticed. The first 2 columns establish binary accountability. You aren't judging your performance. You are just recording whether the action took place. The third column is for diagnosis. If you didn't do it, write down exactly what got in the way. Maybe you were interrupted by a notification, or perhaps the cue was less consistent than you thought. Scientists treat every outcome as information. When you miss a day, your What I Noticed column identifies the specific friction point that stopped the habit, allowing you to fix the design rather than blaming your character. Even with a great blueprint, your brain's autopilot is strong. You will likely just forget to perform the new step during your existing routine. You can solve this by installing a physical interruption to break your established autopilot sequence. If your cue is your morning tea, put a vibrant sticky note directly on the kettle. If you want to stretch instead of scrolling your phone, place your yoga mat on top of your charger. We aren't trying to fight the subconscious mind. We are redesigning the environment so the desired action becomes the most obvious choice to make. Look at your paper. You now have a scientifically backed formula and a tracking log. You've successfully moved from a vague intention to a concrete plan. Over the next 3 days, remember the rule. If the habit fails to stick, blame the system's design. Use your failure data to refine the blueprint. Make the cue more obvious, or shrink the tiny habit even further until the resistance disappears. You are no longer trying to overhaul your life with willpower. You are building it, one undeniable brick at a time.